Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Hollywood After Dark episode number 16 is the day. For the last 3 years, are we finally getting confirmation that Charlie Cox as Matthew Murdoch, aka the Devil at Hell's Kitchen, is coming back to DC or coming back to I can't even talk. I'm so excited. Let's get into it. Howdy, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the show. That intro was a little bit weird, I'll fully admit. I said DC, I meant Marvel. I got a little ahead of myself. These things happen occasionally, when you're trying to like push the excitement level for everything that's going on today. There's a lot to talk about today. There's a lot going on. Not only do we have the Daredevil stuff, there has also been the whole thing with Wolverine, Hugh Jackman, that I didn't talk about over the course of the last couple of days, which is unfortunate. And then we also, we also got some Wonder Years. There's been a new trailer for the Wonder Years, a teaser for the ABC all-black reboot of the 1980s smash sitcom, The Wonder Years. We'll take a look at that trailer. And of course, get ready for the Loki. The penultimate episode is tonight. But before I bring in my very, very awesome co-host tonight, I do need to quickly give a shout out to the channel members. Look at all you beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people. Your names up here. It's a growing list, which is awesome. I thank you all for it very much. If you want to get in on the action, there's a join button right here. Great way to do that. But there is a quick thing I want to address real quick. And that has to do with there's going to be a couple changes to the channel. Now, I've been streaming pretty much every night now for a while. And as awesome as it is, and I have so much fun doing it, and that's not stopping. I think the channel has not been growing. In fact, the channel has been shrinking pretty well. So the live streams are not something that a lot of the people want to watch. So there's not a lot of replay on the VOD. I do have a Hollywood After Dark YouTube channel that I kind of forgot about. So at the end of this month, I'll be moving the live streaming over to that channel. Podio Commentary is going back on its main channel with new episodes now that I have an editor. And this channel will predominantly be for reviews and news updates that I don't want to sit there and have be just in the full-length podcast. But we're going to diversify a little bit because YouTube is otherwise not too happy with all that. And that's unfortunate. And you know what? I know Anna here is going to agree with me on that. YouTube hates it when you live stream.
Hello there. Yeah,
Hello
I know
there.
they fucking hate that shit.
They absolutely hate it. It's absolutely a very annoying thing when they live, don't get me wrong. Like I love live streaming every night. Like it's a lot of fun. I look forward to it. I try to think of fun things to talk about, and that's not going to change. But I still would like to build up the channel. I still would like to build it into something and not have it just be algorithmically bogged down.
Yeah, it sucks.
By that.
I miss when a YouTube channel, it used to be like an actual, well, it could be. You had the option of doing it like an actual TV channel. You could have multiple shows and shit like that. But these days, you really just can't do that. It's like your channel either needs to be for live streaming or for videos. It's kind of weird that they even give you the option, considering like when it comes down to the algorithm, they either want you to do one or the other for one channel.
Yeah. Well, and the thing with that is too is you're not, and then when it even comes to like let's say the monetization factor, you still have to adhere to the same rules. Yep. 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours watched to content. Thankfully, I've got the 1,000 subs over on that channel, so I can monetize, so super chats can continue to come on in. When it comes to channel members, I might actually disable that over here and just push everyone towards Patreon.
Oh, wow.
Granted, that's going to be a bit of a tough sell on some people, but there's an actual like reason for it. It's YouTube does take 30% of everything.
And Patreon takes a little bit less, right?
They take a lot less. We're talking most I think like 2.5 to 5%.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah, it is significantly different, and so I don't want people to. I'm appreciative of everything, even with the with their take, but it's like just for the process of making it a bit easier. I don't want to go like the John Campea route and use like stream elements.
I gotcha.
You know what I mean? But it's like for channel memberships, because those have been growing. I think it would be nice to kind of like move it into that, because I don't really have like custom emojis or nothing like that. I maybe should.
I could
But so
make
far,
some of those for you.
no one's been asking for them. So I'm like, all right, you know, and then I also forget because it's like I'm busy during the day. Like today, for example, my daughter has had diarrhea all day. So that's been my day in a nutshell.
Jeez.
Anyway, yeah. So Rational Skeptic here does ask the question, what happened to the mundane Matt Jenna?
I wonder.
Yeah. Okay. Well, again, you know, like not to relitigate or bring up what happened 3 years ago, which we are now coming into that 3-year anniversary, I guess, or the Boulderversary. You know, now 3 years bolder, so to speak. And the channel, look, I'll be honest with you guys, that channel was so decimated in the algorithm that even though it went from 163,000 to 119,000 subs over 3 years, nothing gets traction over there. And everything is just an attack. Like if you go look at I sent any comments yesterday. Oh, yeah. I haven't even checked it in like a week.
Comments you never get on this channel. Never.
I never get on this channel. Like people here are actually like, cool. Over there, it's like, go kill yourself, fucking delete this shit. Like, and it's like, I'm talking like, you know, when I did the Stranger Days stuff where it's like, you know, I research and I write this stuff out and you know, stuff that's not social commentary, but it doesn't even matter. So I'm like, why focus on something that is just going to, you know, bring me, I don't know, like,
it's
I don't want to
say
say
your mental health, man.
It really is bad for the mental health. Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why I've been focusing more on streaming over here, talking about this, because even some of my most ardent haters, believe it or not, actually have told me that they're like, no, I like your movie coverage. Like, F your opinion on politics, right? But they're like, I like when you talk about Star Wars.
Hey, like, that's something at least, right? That shows that at least some people are willing to look past political disagreements and be like, hey, you still create some content that I think is good. So, yeah, a bit of hope for the internet, I guess.
Yeah, very true. Now, Dark Beast does say here, you should use Twitch for streaming, more profitable and less issues to deal with than YouTube. Yes, however, a lot of people watch from their mobile devices, and I know a lot of people who listen to this show listen from their mobile device, and Twitch's mobile app is terrible. It's terrible. I hate their mobile app, and I don't want to subject anyone to it. If Twitch had a more, like, a better designed app that was very much like YouTube in regards to just, like, I don't know, functionality, it would be a different story. But the truth of the matter is it doesn't, and I don't like that. And so I'm trying to come at, so I don't mind running on another channel. Like, if I get content ID claims over there, like, I don't care. Like, I got we watched a couple trailers last night. I got a couple content ID claims over there. I don't care. Because, like, you know, the money I get from super chats, it more than makes up for whatever couple cents they would give me because I swear too much, or we say whatever the fuck we want. So YouTube's algorithm is already not going to be giving into that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't care.
I think it's a good idea to take the money off YouTube as soon as possible, honestly, because I swear, like, I think eventually there will be a time in YouTube where the people who copyright claim they're going to try and get a piece of the super chats that were made in the stream soon.
That might be, that might be a thing. I get that and all. And I understand what Hank here is saying. Most YouTubers have found Twitch to be more profitable, and then you cut up the videos for posting on YouTube. The truth is, though, I don't really want to cut this up. If I don't have to.
It's a lot of work. Yeah.
It's a lot of work to cut it up. Like, see, the thing is, like, you look at someone like John Campea, right? Campea, he has a team of people. I think he's got, like, his brother-in-law is like a producer on his show. And, like, that dude handles the thumbnails and handles, like, all of the, he records the show, the first hour of it. That then gets cut up into the different chapters and the different videos. And then he doesn't handle any of that. That's handled by somebody else. So if I was to do that, then it would be like, okay, let me just go and find the timestamp. And then I have to download the podcast, which could be a couple gigs depending on how long it is. Then I got to go and find the clips. Then I got to go edit them out, and then it's the export time on that, the upload time on that, the thumbnail time on that, the SEO time on that, you know, title and description and shit. And I'm like, fuck that, man. That takes way too long.
Got to put hashtags, got to put tags, got to put it out on social media, got to give it a description. Got to do this, got to
schedule that. Yeah, it's like it's like 2 hours of post-production work that go into it. You know, if you were to do something like that, and then it's also trying to, because I do this late at night. So certain things I'll clip out because I find those to be interesting. If there's like a certain discussion I like, or you know, we're laughing about something.
Sure.
But I don't do that all the time, and I don't really want to I don't want to do it all the time because not everyone will clip into it. But I did today. I put up a video about the Zack Snyder thing today, where he's doing that Rebel Moon. It's like a Star Wars inspired, also Kurosawa inspired film. And for Netflix, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. And that's already got like almost 1,000 views. And if I would have talked about it here, we wouldn't have 1,000 views. It's the unfortunate side of this. Anyway, enough of that. I'm not trying to like have a pity party or nothing like that. H Bart's here, $2, man, says using different card, hashtag simp for Sylvie. And you know what? I just got this to give you. That's all I got.
That's all you got.
That's all I got. Thank you, H Bart's, simp for Sylvie.
I'd say that's a pretty big offering right there.
Two pretty big offerings.
Two pretty big offerings.
I just happen to. I shouldn't like that as much as I do, but I do.
All right.
Anyway. No, I know you're trying to help out, Hank. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. It's I think we just have different takes on it, and that's okay. I'm not against Twitch as a platform. I do love Twitch as a platform, but for what I view in regards to ease of access is like it's different. You know?
Oh yeah,
I mean?
no, we're not saying that what you said is really successful for a lot of people. It's a lot of work. It usually requires at least like a small team of people to do that type of stuff and be on it consistently. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's definitely something. Anyway, so what I wanted to Matt wants those mommy milkers.
Oh jeez. This is the weirdest episode.
No, it's not. Mind. It can get a lot weirder.
Yeah, it can get a lot weirder.
Charbo's pity party, like Wings of Red. No.
It's that Von Helton guy.
Yeah, I've only know what I've seen about Wings of Redemption from other people. So anyway, I did want to, before we get into that, and this is just something I want you guys to put into the chat, because we got like 40 people here. I saw this on Twitter, want to get you guys' take on it. So are you Marvel or are you DC? Is it the red pill or the blue pill? How are you going to approach this discussion? It's super mean to DC fans, to be honest with you. It's super mean to DC fans.
Well, they're red and blue. Like, it's not like, what else were they gonna do? Make Marvel the blue pill and make
you don't get blue pilled on Marvel. You get blue pilled on DC because they keep screwing everything up.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, I just thought that was pretty funny. But tonight, first, before we get into the whole thing with Daredevil, have you heard about the Wonder Years, the remake of the Wonder Years, or the reboot?
I'm not really heard about
that. Right. You're young. I forgot. You weren't born until like the late 90s.
I do know what the Wonder Years is, though.
So yes, right. So the Wonder Years, great show. It's a show I grew up with. Love that show. ABC has decided to reboot it this time about a young black kid in the 1960s, which is a very interesting time. Obviously, civil rights and things like that.
Huh.
And tonight we got our first look at it. And Twitter, like even a lot of the wokies I've seen on Twitter, are not necessarily going like, I'm all for this. In fact, a few of them are kind of like, this was a bit of a bad call.
Yeah. I want to know why, because I really don't trust a corporation to like tell this story in a respectful manner. It's possible, but like it has to be done really delicately.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see how that whole thing goes. Hold on. Yeah. Okay,
yeah,
so
very sensitive issue.
Very sensitive issue, and we're gonna have a special guest here in a few as well. Okay. Once we get into the main subject of the night, he just messaged me back. So, but I wanted to talk about this. So I got the trailer right here. We can check it out. I want to get your guys' take on it. It's only 30 seconds long, but I'm not gonna lie. Right off the bat, I'm saying I don't hate it or anything. It's got Don Cheadle as the narrator, and I do love Don Cheadle. So it's got my interest, but here it is.
What would you do if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me?
It's the little things that you remember all your life.
Oh, baby,
your first hit, your first kiss. The first time your dad lets you know that he sees you. Well, I still hadn't had the other two, but boy, did that third one feel good.
So yeah, that's just the teaser for the Wonder Years.
I don't really like. That's very brief. I don't see anyone who could really get pissed off about that.
Yeah. Well, I think what they're talking about is, like I said, like it's like the time period, right?
Yeah,
So,
no, I mean, I agree. It could be potentially problematic, but I don't think it necessarily will be.
I don't think it's going to be problematic. Yeah, I think Lee Daniels is definitely going to be. And Fred Savage is also producing it. What I tell you, what I'm not a big fan of though is like, for one, I love that theme song,
Okay,
but the theme song is very, very, very connected to the Wonder Years and to the original show. So why not have a different? So by putting that song there, it almost feels like it's. And there will be people out there that are going to argue that it's trying to replace the original, which I don't agree with. But there are going to be people out there that I think are going to argue that. And I'm like, come up with something new. You know what I mean? Like, give us something new.
Yeah, maybe like something inspired by the original theme, sure. But like, yeah, do something a little bit different, at least, I'd say. Makes more sense.
Yeah.
Was that literally just that was not even a cover? That
was just the teaser, yeah.
Oh, that's kind of fucking lazy then. Yeah, at least do like a fucking cover or some type of variation if you're gonna do like a reboot. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I definitely feel. Let's see here. Hold on here. Stamina MC says, as someone that very much enjoyed the Wonder Years as a youngin', that little clip made me feel nothing. I mean, I'll tell you this, like the whole thing at the end there, like when he's talking about, like he makes that quip about like having your dad say, "I see you," you know, and it's like, I haven't had the other two things, like the hit in baseball, which is also because he's like, "Oh, you remember your first hit?" And I'm like, wait, like, what are you referring to? You know, like, is it like, because it's like I mean, obviously baseball, because it's like clearly he's not going to be like a like a marijuana infested youth or nothing. Dirty hippie. Oh, this is the age before hippies. Beatnik. I don't know what they called them in the 60s. Well, they were called they're like reefers. I think they were called like reefer heads or something. The reefers, man. That could be a weird gang, right? Like, sup, bro, we're the reefers, man. We just like hang out and shit. But anyway, like he says, your first hit, your first kiss, and the first time your dad sees you. And he's like, I haven't had the first two yet, but the third one felt great. And like, I liked the joke, but though I had to go back and watch that like 3 times to get the joke because it was so quickly cut together that you didn't have time to process what he said. And I know it's a 33-second teaser. It's meant to be a commercial, so I get that. But even that might come across as like putting some people off and pushing them out like the wrong way because it just kind of, I don't know. Like, again, Don Cheadle I love, so I want to see it for him.
He's getting work too. Like, good for him. He's been getting some fucking work. I've seen his name around a lot lately.
Yeah. No, he's been around forever, man. Let's see. Music Man here says it's not bad, but you didn't need to call it the Wonder Years. Same goes for Child's Play remake.
That's a lot of remakes, though, in all fairness. Like, you didn't have to call it this. How many times have we had this conversation just on this show alone?
A lot, yeah. I mean, like, Velma. Don't call it fucking Velma. It's not even, fuck you. There's no dog and there's no van. Literally eat my ass. Nah. Anyway, let's see here. Hold on. H-Bart's here. $2 says, call my friend Orlando weird. Why? Did I miss something about your friend Orlando? I'm looking in the chat and maybe I missed something here. I don't.
Well, if you're named after somewhere in Florida, then perhaps that is a little bit strange.
Perhaps. That might be a thing. Yvonne here says beatniks. Yeah, probably. So then it's like, okay, fourth here says it will be canceled after 1 season. The Wonder Years had its time. I mean, it did have its time. It's kind of like Growing Pains had its time. I mean, if they were like, well, let's go back and reboot Growing Pains or whatever, for one, Alan Thicke is dead. You're not going to get much out of Joanna Kerr. Kirk Cameron is, Kirk Cameron, and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Different strokes.
Yeah. Like, everyone on that show is dead with the exception of the older brother.
That's the point Willis. I'm trying to make. It's like... There's zero fucking reason behind this shit.
I know. I saw Gary Coleman at E3 in like 2003.
Aw, damn.
That was cool, man. I saw him and like dude. Tony Hawk, like right there, and Gary Busey.
What a fucking team up right there. That's fucking.
Well,
awesome.
they weren't together. It was at different times throughout the day. But
they should have.
A lot of celebrity. Yeah, they should have. A lot of celebrities go to E3, and so like I saw Gary Coleman, and then I saw Tony Hawk, and then there used to be a Comedy Central show called My Life with Gary or something. And it was a 1-season reality show about like a normie guy who's like friends with Gary Busey. And they went out and like, because Gary Busey's insane, just absolutely insane. And they went out and they did the show, and they actually went to E3 and they played Grand Theft Auto Vice City. And I saw them as they were filming that segment. So like that was cool because I'm a big Gary Busey fan, and so he's crazy as hell. That was pretty fun. Anyway, oh okay, I see I see you're working with your friend Orlando, and you want me to call Orlando weird. Okay, now I get it. I didn't get it before. Now I get it. Hi Orlando, my name is Matt. I'm a friend of HBart's here. I won't say his first name because I don't think people want him to know. I don't know you, but your friend wants me to call you weird. So you're weird, dude. There you go. Burn. Drop mic.
Wow.
I know. Coming in with them hot takes. Anyway, yeah. Lord Slug here is asking, was he promoting Postal 2? He absolutely was promoting Postal 2.
Wait, he was involved in Postal?
He was in Postal 2, yeah.
I've never actually played that game, so I had no idea.
Postal 2 was good. Postal 2 was really good. Postal 3, not so much. Postal 1 was... I liked Postal 1 quite a bit. Postal 2 was the better one of the franchise. They've done some other ones. It's like at one of the games, I think it was like Postal 4, you could take like a honey badger and put it on the rifle of your gun, and then it would be a silencer. And I know it's meant to be crazy and over the top and all that jazz. I get that, but it's like, what? Anyway, running
probably
with
because
scissors.
of that honey badger meme that they had.
Yeah, I know, right? They did the honey badger thing from all those years ago, and you know, it is. Yeah, I don't know. Hold on, we're gonna talk. I gotta. Yeah. Okay, I can't talk and type at the same time. So I have to
Clickety clack.
Clickety clack. It's called a mechanical keyboard, motherfucker.
Hey, I've got one too. Fucking look. It's the terrible thing. I like my mouse to be silent, and I wish I could have a silent mechanical keyboard, but no such thing exists.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I thought was really, like I wish my mouse was silent. Like, you know what I mean? Because like I do, like when I'm doing like PowerPoint presentations for videos, and I hear the click, 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 click. You know, I feel like I'm suddenly in a Saliva song.
You can't hear this, right? I'm
No.
clicking right now. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, I can recommend this one to you, honestly. It's only like $10. Maybe you could take a look at it at some point.
I mean, can you hear this right now?
A little bit, but barely.
A little bit,
barely
yeah.
much.
But I mean, then again, I could also lower the sensitivity on my mic.
Yeah, that's true.
Taylor here says Postal 2 was awesome. Yes, it is. And then, but Dark Beast here says everything has been done. There's no such thing as original in storytelling. I mean, no. There's original in storytelling. What happens is that shit just gets adapted. I mean, you know, look at like the Tomorrow War. The Tomorrow War is kind of an original concept. You know, I mean, they have to go back in time to recruit soldiers from the past in order to fight an alien horde 30 years in the future because like the aliens have already wiped everybody else out. And apparently it's okay. I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But that's an original enough concept.
A lot of original concepts, because of how derivative things are, they end up going into like, it's kind of like how we were talking about earlier. It's like some things that could entirely just be their own concepts, their own shows within themselves, end up just being part of a franchise tangentially related that doesn't really justify it. I feel like a lot of those instances, it could be like original properties. It's just the studios are too afraid to like kind of get out of their comfort zone.
Yeah. No, I definitely get you on that one, man.
But there's still original storytelling. Yeah.
Yes. So we have ourselves a special guest tonight, guys, and I think you guys are going to be pretty happy with. He asked to come on in because we're going to be talking about this mysterious tweet from Grace Randolph today, saying here that Charlie Cox isn't She-Hulk. He'll appear in costume as Daredevil. And not just as Matt Murdock as in Spider-Man No Way Home. When you see him, you gonna go crazy.
Don't play with my emotions like that, Grace.
You know what? I agree. But what we have here to bring that up is a friend of mine. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Mikey Sutton. How you doing, Mikey?
Hello, Matt. How are you doing? I think it's my first time on Hollywood After Dark, I believe.
I know we've streamed before, but like with this particular branding. So I apologize for that.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I'm glad to be here. And I think, Daredevil kind of follows me around like Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, well, because I Googled it on your website and like I have a bunch of screenshots because I didn't know you were going to come on. So I was prepping up some stuff here because you have an article from back in May saying that Charlie Cox will appear on Disney's She-Hulk.
Yeah.
And so that's definitely something. And now, can you give people, because I also have like a snippet of the article here too, but since you're here, just give them a rundown. Give them a rundown, Mikey.
Yeah, he'll be appearing as Matt Murdock on She-Hulk. I don't know where this information is coming from that he's appearing as Daredevil. Um, in fact, I don't think he'll appear as Daredevil until he's formally in his own show again with a new costume, and they're really kind of building up to that. So they're going to have him make these cameos in as lawyer Matt Murdock, and that's how they're going to introduce him in the MCU.
That makes a lot of sense, because I think Feige, I know Feige likes the character.
Yes, he does.
And I mean, clearly, like, there's the thing is, like, the thing about Kevin Feige is he's definitely a showman.
Mm-hmm.
And he understands how to give fans. I think you and I've even talked about this.
Yeah.
Like, he gives fans what they want, but in like a new way.
Yep.
And so, fans want Matt Murdock as Daredevil. That's what they want. They've been saying it now for over 2 years. That is not going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, with the success of the Snyder Cut, you would figure like that would be an easy thing for them to bring out, but they got to definitely do it at the right time.
Yeah, and gradually. I mean, he wants to make a big impact when he has a costume, because it'll be his MCU costume, right? It won't be his Netflix costume.
Yeah.
It's going to be a huge deal when that happens. So I haven't heard him putting on the costume in She-Hulk. I really doubt that'll happen.
Well, I mean, I guess my question is, so they're just going to bring in, like, they're just going to have him play Matt Murdock as like a soft reintroduction.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And he won't be appearing in the whole episode. Most likely they'll be just talking about a case or something. And, oh, by the way, Matt Murdock is here. You know what I mean? Kind of a casual bomb right there.
Well, they kept teasing that in the Netflix shows that weren't the non-Daredevil shows, where every time they'd get into trouble, like Jessica Jones or something like that, and then she'd say like, "I need a lawyer," and I'm like, "There it is, there it is." You know what? And like, just make it happen. And then they kept teasing us until Defenders, and then like, but when they showed that in the trailer, I was like, yes, I was so happy. I think I'm one of the few people that liked that miniseries. I liked Defenders.
I like Defenders. I mean, it was great seeing them all together. I think the actors have really good chemistry. Just Finn Jones just kind of.
Finn Jones got done dirty. I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
All right. I'll defend Finn Jones. I know that's a hot take. I blame.
He didn't give enough time. He wasn't given enough time.
He wasn't given enough time. He went right from Game of Thrones. Literally, they had like 2 months of pre-production.
Yeah.
On Iron Fist. They didn't even get, like, they had 2 months of training. That's not enough time to do all that. And so like they faked their way through season 1 quite a bit, and he got better by Defenders and by season 2 of the show.
Yeah.
And then also when they established his relationship with Mike Coulter, those two had great chemistry together.
They did. Okay, I agree with that, definitely.
And when he popped up in season 2 of Luke Cage, I was giddy as shit. I was happy that one episode that he popped up in and they went on and they shut down a drug den. Like, that was like Heroes for Hire right there. That shit was awesome.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is what fans are wanting to see. And I understand the internal politics at Marvel with like Perlmutter and Jeff Loeb and Feige and all that stuff. But now those guys are out of the picture.
Yeah.
And so they got to be bringing back Murdoch. Now, okay. So there's a lot, but there's been, I do want to address this though, because I did find this when I looked up Daredevil on your website. So this is before I found the article about him being in She-Hulk here. So so he's also going to be in Hawkeye, and he's going to be in the Echo series.
Yeah, the Hawkeye one was the scoop that I was covering. Echo is where you're going to really see. You won't see him in costume, but you'll really see more of Matt Murdock.
Okay.
Echo is Matt Murdock's girlfriend.
So, like, where's the consensus at this moment, like, on the Netflix shows? Are these gonna be canon or not canon, or what's the deal with them?
Yeah, not canon. What they're gonna do is they're gonna use the actors, but they're not gonna use the storylines.
Interesting.
So they're not gonna pick up what they don't want to do. They don't want to bring people to Netflix to see where the stories began.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
it's interesting that they're going to keep some of the actors though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the whole thing. Is like, it's kind of like, people want Wolverine. They want Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and it's going to be very difficult for anyone else to come into that role, like, ever. and that's why. But the thing is, like, Wolverine will get recast, where I feel like Iron Man won't get recast, at least not for a long time. And that's going to be the thing. So now, did you say he's going to be in theatrical as well? Like, he's going to pop up in some of the theatrical films?
Eventually, yeah, but which is why Marvel's going to do their own adult stuff on Hulu. Because in 2024, I believe, is when Disney fully owns Hulu. I think a small percentage of it is owned by Comcast right now, I believe.
It's a 70-30 split, last I saw.
Yeah, exactly. So in 2024, they have the whole shebang. It's all Disney's. They're going to start pouring more money into their programming on Hulu. So you're going to start seeing, that's where the Punisher is going to show up. Is on Hulu. He's not going to be on Disney Plus. He'll be on Hulu.
Yeah.
You're going to see basically their version of some of the other Netflix shows. Daredevil they see as a more mainstream character. They're going to push the envelope as much as they can. We've seen that in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and we saw it in Mandalorian even before that. That Boba Fett episode was really violent,
Yeah.
And so Daredevil will be on Disney Plus because he is going to be crossing over into the theatrical world. Here's the thing, Matt. People said that there's a rumor going around years before that Feige hated everything Jeff Loeb did. Man, that's not true. Feige was a huge fan of Daredevil and Jessica Jones. Those are the two Netflix shows he really loved. He thought they were very well done. I mean, he liked the actors in some of the other shows.
Yeah.
But as far as the programs themselves, he was a huge fan of Daredevil and Jessica Jones. And so bringing back Charlie Cox was one of the things he really wanted to do when they got the rights back. And so you're going to see a lot of Daredevil going forward. Obviously, the character was really popular on Netflix. And so...
Oh, yeah, super popular. Super popular. I mean... There's no denying that. And
no denying that, yeah.
I mean, I know it's been the 2 years, like the cool off period and whatnot, but I mean, I had heard somewhere that Disney is like looking to potentially, or Marvel, I should say, is looking to potentially purchase the rights to the shows back from Netflix and bring them over to Hulu, but I mean Netflix. I don't know if Netflix is going to do that. To be honess, I don't think so
either. Yeah, I mean, that's the only issue. And how much are they going to overcharge Disney for it, right? Because they know they can get a good amount of money from them.
This is kind of like the Sony situation all over.
Yep, exactly.
Again.
Yeah. They got them over a barrel, and they might as well just kind of reboot it and go from there. Now, do you know anything about Vincent D'Onofrio coming back as Kingpin?
I tell you what. Okay. From what I've heard, it's funny because, Matt, 2 years ago, I was saying Charlie Cox was coming back, and people laughed at me, right? Because the rumor back then was that everybody's going to get recast. Everybody. Feige hates Loeb so much, we're going to recast them all, And now everybody's saying Charlie Cox is coming back, like, everywhere right now. Vincent is one of the... You mentioned some people can't be recast. The Kingpin can't be recast. They can't. Like... Feige's like, we got to get this guy back. He is the Kingpin. I'm pretty sure that once they offer Vincent the deal, that he's not going to turn it down. He loves playing the Kingpin. I think that's a done deal as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he definitely wants to be the Kingpin.
Yeah.
And he's great.
He talks about it on Twitter. He brings it up a lot.
Oh, he does. Like, he does.
I've seen him talk about it quite a bit. So it's like,
dude, that makes me giddy to see an actor who loves portraying a character that much, to put that much effort into like talking about it on a regular basis. Just like, that's great. That's really nice to see.
And one of the fanboy things in Feige is he's a huge comic book fan, like in the history of comic books, right? He's into all the roots of the comic books and everything, which is why DC films need somebody on that level, right? Not Walter Hamada, but some guy who's rooted in comic book history and its tapestry and everything. In the comic books, Spider-Man and the Kingpin were like arch enemies, and that's something that he wants to do when Peter's in college. When you have an older Tom Holland, Black Cat is going to bring him into the criminal underworld where he meets the Kingpin. and they want Vincent to play the Kingpin. Because who else can play the Kingpin, right? Because he is just going to pale in comparison to Vincent. I mean, the guy just embodies the Kingpin intellectually and physically so much.
Yeah. I mean, but then again, that's gonna have to be it's gonna kind of have to be a wholly new interpretation of the Kingpin.
Yeah.
Just for the right, because for those of you guys who don't know how the rights break down between Sony and Marvel over Spider-Man, they entered into a joint production venture where the characters like Ned and Aunt May and MJ, those are unique to that specific world. And let's say like they break up again, because it's probably going to happen again. If Sony's stupid, I don't put any faith in Sony, so they're going to do it. But if they break up again, then those characters disappear. Tom Holland's Spider-Man will stay.
Yeah.
Everyone else that is like, yeah. That's the way the rights work is that because Marvel Studios is producing the Spider-Man movies and those are part of the MCU. The deal that they made was that for new interpretations of the characters, it's why Mary Jane is Zendaya and not a redhead.
Yeah.
And so like it's why Aunt May went from being like 85 and decrepit to like,
wait a minute. Is this going to be what they do with every fucking Spider-Man character?
No, not with every Spider-Man character, but I mean, obviously there's going to be slight differences between I think ones that we necessarily haven't seen
before. Because Mysterio is pretty accurate enough.
Yeah, no. Like it's characters because keep in mind in the Raimi movies and in the Mark Webb movies, we saw different, we had I forget the actress who played Aunt May in Raimi's, but we had Sally Field play her in the Mark Webb movies, right? The Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so like those are unique to Sony because that's in that world. And then you've got what they've done now is they had to just do different interpretations. And that's really only for characters that have crossed over, I think. But yeah, Mysterio, I mean, pretty accurate. We're going to probably get more with Venom down the road. What do you know about Venom, Mikey? What do you know about that? When's that going to happen?
Well, in terms of him crossing over with the MCU, you mean?
Well, or at least getting Spider-Man in there. I don't see Venom necessarily crossing over to the MCU, but I see Spider-Man dealing with that.
There was talk before of, and I mentioned it in one of my articles a long time ago, that Venom was going to be a villain. Again, they introduced when Peter is in college. When Peter is in college, his villains are going to be darker and more violent, but the Kingpin is going to fit into there, and Venom will be one of the people that he meets.
Yeah, because as it stands, it would be kind of awkward with Tom Hardy, just like compared to how he looks to like Tom Holland. I think it would just be better for Tom Holland to be a little bit older before they're fucking.
Well, here's the thing: is Tom Holland just turned 25.
I know, but like he still looks young.
Yeah, I know he looks young. I know he's looking young. They're probably going like, okay, if we wait till he's like 40. We can finally do, we can finally do post-college Peter Parker, and he's not going to look like a little baby.
All right.
It's like we're going to have to show that he's got pubic hair so they know that he's of age.
If they're that concerned, they can just do like makeup on him to make him look older.
Give him a little crow's feet, give him a little bit of that gray in the beard. It's like, I'm Peter Parker.
They do it in reverse all the time.
Yeah, I know. I know. I think the thing is Sony is invested in Tom Holland for a number of reasons. One, the movies make money. Two, he is well loved within the MCU. And three, that was their pick. Because Kevin Feige wanted Asa Butterfield to play Peter Parker. Like that was he was the front runner. And that always shocked me because I remember reading like those reports and he was a front runner, and then all of a sudden he's out.
Yeah.
And you're thinking like they're like days away from announcing who's going to be Spider-Man. You're like, wait, what the hell? They got rid of Asa? What? No way. And then it's like, here's this Tom Holland kid. And like, who the fuck is Tom Holland? And then you see him and you're all like, oh, that motherfucker's Peter Parker. Like, that's my Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And so, and I've always enjoyed him. I've loved him the entire time. So I'm very happy that was Sony got something right, but a broken clock is right twice a day, obviously. So that's the thing. Real quick, I want to get to the super chat here from Benson. Daredevil was a fantastic show with incredible fight scenes. He would be a fantastic addition to the Marvel Universe. Talking about Daredevil. Iron Fist was terrible. Sorry. Season 2 was better than Season 1. I think we all can agree on that one.
We all had different showrunner. Who was that showrunner? What's his name?
In Season 1?
Yeah. What's his name?
Scott Buck.
Yeah. He bucked it up. That's right.
He left Iron Fist to go and do Inhumans, and that was I couldn't finish it. It was so bad, and I have a high threshold for shit. All right, I liked Game of Thrones season 8.
I saw Inhumans in IMAX. I went.
Oh, you actually did that? Did you know that IMAX? Like, I forget what movie they bumped. They bumped a movie.
Oh, that's right.
I forget what it was that they bumped, but they bumped something that was like, and they paid out $70 million. like seriously, like Jeff Loeb or whoever worked the deal between Marvel Television and IMAX got IMAX to put up $70 million to put the first 2 episodes of Inhumans in IMAX because they thought that like this shit was gonna slap, and that like the popularity of like the Daredevil show and the popularity, because this is also coming off of 2017. This was also like, because what was it? August 2017 was when the Defenders had their 6-episode series, and then it was a month later Inhumans dropped, so they thought they were going to be riding that Marvel Netflix wave and go right into Inhumans and go put it in IMAX for 2 weeks. And like I thought about going to see it, and then the reviews came out and the trailer, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to do this, man. That is just,
I went. Yeah, I took my taxi driver to see it with me, and we were the only 2 people in the theater. Right, there was nobody there. It was completely empty, and I forgot to tell him that it's a TV show. He had no idea. He thought it was a film. So he gets to the ending, and it's a cliffhanger. He's like, "What kind of fuck ending is this?" I said, "I forgot to tell you, it's a TV show." Oh man, it was not good. It was not good.
That's so nuts to me, man. Just because it's like, I remember I wanted to go see an IMAX. Like, I wanted to support it because I just thought it's such, because I kept saying like Game of Thrones, man, put the first 2 episodes of like a new season in IMAX for like a week-long or 2-week-long engagement or something like that, and you will get people to go see it. Like, put it out there early. Do that with Mandalorian, like Disney. Put Mandalorian first 2 episodes or whatever in IMAX, and I will pay you money.
Oh, like, hell yeah.
I will go see this probably more than once. And it's like, there's money to be made there, and then, but yeah, Scott Buck and the Inhumans is what fucked that up for everybody. Like, IMAX is like, we ain't touching that, man, because like literally that year, IMAX. Here's the thing: IMAX was hurting in 2017. Yeah. So, and this is true. I actually have a replica of Wolverine's claws from Logan, and those were sent to me because I got a DM one day from IMAX, like the official IMAX account. And they were like, "Hey, do you like movies?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Would you want free IMAX tickets to go see Logan?" I'm like, "Yeah, I've already seen it, but yeah, totally." And like, "Okay, great." And so they asked my address. They sent me 2 tickets, and they were open IMAX. I could have gone and seen anything I wanted with them. And then they also sent me replica claws of the movie, which is actually on my wall right now, right next to my YouTube silver play button. Awesome. And I look at them every day, and I'm like, yeah, I love those claws. And so like, I took my girlfriend to go see it, and I talked about it, seeing Logan in IMAX, which was excellent, by the way. And then they did that a month later for Fast and Furious 8. They hit me up again, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to go see Fast and Furious 8 in IMAX?" And I said, yeah, because I'm a big Fast and Furious fan. And they're like, "Okay, great." And so they sent me 2 more IMAX tickets and like a little replica of like Dom's car from the movie. Well, the thing is also right before the week of the release of Fast and Furious 8, they were doing, like, Universal was doing free screenings in Portland, and we were in the process of moving to our house, but we took the night off. We went and saw a free screening of Fast and Furious, and so I kept on to those IMAX tickets literally until right before they expired in early 2018, when I redeemed them for 2 tickets to the midnight show of Black Panther in IMAX. So like, Yeah, I mean, like, and then I'm like, no, come on, IMAX, keep sending me more things. I will gladly take your stuff here.
Wow.
But anyway, yeah.
I think the first movie I ever saw in IMAX was The Dark Knight, and it was the most incredible experiences I ever had. I saw it in downtown Seattle, and then the second IMAX movie I saw was The Inhumans. So,
Oh my God. The first IMAX I saw was summer. No, it was like April or May. I think it was like April 2007. 300 had come out, right?
oh my God!
And
Wow.
so I went and saw it opening day in theaters in San Diego with my friend. And then we had it at the drive-in. So I went to work that night and I watched it again at work. So in the first day I saw it in theaters and then I saw it at the drive-in. And then the next month we drove 100 miles north because there wasn't any IMAXs in San Diego. Go fucking figure, right? But there wasn't any IMAXs in San Diego, but Irvine had it. So we drove the 100 miles to Irvine. So it's just shy of Disneyland. Went to the true stadium seating. So this is true IMAX, and watched it there in true IMAX. And then it was from the success at 300. And I don't think, again, people don't ever give Zack Snyder credit for this. Literally the success of 300, because it was a box office hit. It actually forced theaters. That was when they all decided within a month to retro or to rework or refurb at least one theater in their cinema to be IMAX, right? The new faux IMAX, where it's just a sound system and you get better quality, but it's not true IMAX. And they did that as a way to, because of the 300 and because Spider-Man 3 was right on the horizon. And so a lot of these places, they got their IMAX done like literally like days before Spider-Man 3 dropped. And this was back when it wasn't digital. This was when it was just straight up 70 millimeter print. And I knew the guy at my local IMAX who they'd hired him away from another theater. We were in film school together, and they'd hired him away from another theater in order to go up to that one and oversee the IMAX. So on the opening night of Spider-Man 3, I ran into him at the theater, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to come up and see the theater to see the projector?" Because I was a projectionist at the time, and I'm like, "Yeah." And I have never been more intimidated by a piece of machinery in all of my life, because the 70 millimeter setup for this thing, it's like to put together a print of Spider-Man 3 literally took 8 hours.
Oh my God!
Because there are so many reels, because usually like a 90-minute movie is about 5 reels. A 2-hour movie is normally about 6, right? 6, maybe 7 reels depending. And then the longer you get out there, the more like I think the longest I had was like I think 9 reels, and that's just for a standard 35 millimeter print. Well, this is different, and this is big and it's massive, and you have to be very careful with it. So it's like they put a lot of time into this kind of stuff. So I mean, that was intimidating. I always enjoyed the projectionist work. That was always pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, like I've always loved the IMAX stuff because also that summer too, Paramount, because Transformers had just come out, and they actually put an extended edition of the first Transformers in IMAX for like I think a week or two, and I did go and see that one night, and that was pretty cool because I didn't know that it was an extended cut, so it had all these like extra little scenes and bits from the beginning and endings of scenes.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool. It was a pretty cool thing, and then of course what was it, like Watchmen in IMAX was fantastic. Avatar was fantastic. But I did go back up that summer to Irvine again, in 2008, and I saw The Dark Knight in true stadium seating IMAX, and that movie, man, my God.
That movie is an experience. I mean, it's just like, wow. I'll never forget. If I had to put like my top 10, I have a top 10 favorite film list, but I also have a top 10 favorite movie experience list, right? The Dark Knight's on both.
Yeah, it's that I wish The Dark Knight Rises was better. I really
do. I saw it in IMAX as well, but it's just not as good a movie as the other one.
No, it's definitely not very good. But now because we are running we got about 25 minutes left until Loki, so we're running out of,
I know. Yeah,
we're running low on time here. Just again, we have more people in the audience here, so remember, simp for Sylvie. Simp for Sylvie for
she is awesome.
Great costume design work that was put into this costume. You gotta love it. totally
it.
inclusive. Just want to put that out there. Definitely.
Amazing.
Inclusive.
It is inclusive. It's totally inclusive. Working moms got to work too. You know what I mean? Like brand new moms got to work, right? Like it's you know what? It's definitely like there's progress there, Annie. There's progress there. You know, Mikey, I don't know if you've seen this. This is something I need to find a way to make, but here's my Gina Carano shot first shirt.
Love it. Love it.
I need to get
That's
that.
Hilarious.
I need to wear that on when we go out. But anyway, so the one other thing I wanted to talk with you about, since you're here, is so this whole thing with Hugh Jackman teasing his return to the MCU here by posting these two images.
Yeah.
What I know you got an article on it, and what are your thoughts about good old Hugh coming back?
Yeah, I asked around, and they said the situation that I reported back in April, that he wanted to see a script. But he's open to returning, but he's got to see a script. And most important thing to him, beyond money, is that Logan is not tarnished. And that's really the most important thing with him. But with the whole multiverse angle, they can have him play a different Wolverine. So that movie will not be touched whatsoever. But I haven't heard any of him signing recently or any discussions heating up. Everything I've been hearing has been the same since April, like show me a script. But, you know, I have celebrity friends, and I learned from them about what to post on social media, and they do everything for a reason, you know? And I was hearing some, I'll mention, you know, that Jung guy that's really popular. He was saying that what if, you know, Hugh Jackman is just trolling. I don't see Jackman trolling fans. I mean, he may troll Ryan Reynolds back and forth. That's between them, right?
I doubt he knew about something so serious.
Exactly, you know? Yeah. Like, he knows how fans want to see him. That's just mean. I don't see him doing that. I mean, I don't know him personally, but do you guys see Hugh Jackman trolling fans like that? Like,
no,
it seems out of character.
Well, I mean, yeah, like they'll mess around with Ryan Reynolds. Obviously, those two have a very good camaraderie, and they're friends. And I mean, there's no way he doesn't know what fans want.
Yeah.
And obviously the Deadpool Wolverine connection is a massive one. It's a very big, massive one. It's one that a lot of people, you know, they kind of been joking about it a little bit, but him posting the Boss Logic thing, this and then also like an hour beforehand posting an image with him and Kevin Feige.
Yeah, see, that's suspicious.
And then him posting this is like, come on, man. Come on. Yeah. What are you doing? That is grade A epic trolling, in my opinion.
Yeah. What is everybody going to think? I mean,
I think he might be back for maybe a cameo or something, but I still do eventually think that they will recast all of the X-Men. Yeah,
here's the thing. I'm torn on it, to be honest with you. Logan is such an amazing piece of cinema, and it was a great closeout to those 17 years he played the role.
A very mature film.
It was and it showed that you can do superhero stories and make them mature and work. And that's one of the reasons why, I'm sorry, anyone out there who's worried about Indiana Jones 5, Mangold is going to nail it out of the damn park.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, if he was able to come back and take Hugh Jackman from, you know, X-Men Origins Wolverine that literally angered everybody, and then come back with the Wolverine a couple years later and it do really well, and that led into Logan, you know, cut the man some fucking slack. All right, I think he knows what he's up to.
Wait, is the same director doing Indy 5?
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's gonna be good.
Well, dude, not only have you ever seen like 310 to Yuma?
No.
Like great film. It's a remake. The one that came out in, I think it was 07, was Russell Crowe and Christian Bale.
Yep.
And it's Ben Foster's in it. And it's a great movie. It's like that end that final climax sequence is just fantastic. And Russell Crowe nailed it. Christian Bale nailed it out of the park. The whole thing was great. And so him doing that proves he can do westerns. Doing Logan proves he can do westerns. And I know Indiana Jones is an action adventure movie, but I'll kind of put it to you guys like this: there was a little kind of an unsung James Mangold film that doesn't get enough credit, and that is Night and Day. So
I haven't seen that one.
In 2010, this was Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz. And Tom Cruise is like a spy. This is kind of like, I think this was like in between Mission Impossible 3 and Mission Impossible 4, because there was like a 5-year gap in between those two films. And Mission, or maybe a 4-year gap or something. But I think there was a bit touch and go for a while for another Mission Impossible past number 3. And so they came out with this movie called Night and Day. And it's a very fun action adventure spy kind of, I don't want to say action comedy. There's a lot of comedy in it. Tom Cruise brings a lot of that kind of energy to it. Cameron Diaz, she ends up like yelling and screaming most of the time. Think like Willie from Temple of Doom, Kate Capshaw and stuff. But really, Tom Cruise brought it for that film, and that doesn't get enough love in my opinion. And that's a James Mangold movie as well.
Yeah, I gotta see. I didn't know that was him. So I will check that out. Yeah, but Robert Meyer Burnett also said on Campia's show that what if it's a homage to Richard Donner? Okay, now the problem is these were posted before Richard Donner's passing was reported, and so John Campia was theorizing, well, what if Jackman already knew? And I just don't see it. It's just like most people, unless you're really in the know, do not make the connection between Donner and Hugh Jackman. You have to be really in the know that like his wife was one of the producers of the X-Men. Well,
so was him.
So
Donner.
Was, him.
Yeah, he was a producer of at least X-Men.
Yeah, and then he gave Feige his first job. But first of all, again, it was before his passing. Even if Jackman knew, I don't see him doing that when it's not made public yet. You know what I mean? I don't think that's not something anybody would do. Like, if you were told that somebody died, right, and it's not public yet, you want to keep it to yourself, not even hint at it. I mean, just out of respect, for them. I think it'd be disrespectful for him to even hint at, and hint at Donner passing away, even though it was not easy to put together. And the timing with Boss Logic's Wolverine, though, how is that anything to do with Donner? You know what I mean?
Well, I haven't seen. Are people actually upset about that?
No, they're not. But that Robert Meyer Burnett's theory was that what if it was a Donner tribute in advance, and I don't see that. I don't see Jackman doing that. Or
no, I don't see that really being a thing. But to answer Benson's question here, will I be upsetting Campy this week? No, he blocked me. He blocked me on Twitter, so I'm gonna have to email him.
He went up on Steven Dorff today. It was pretty hilarious.
Oh, I'm sure. What do you know about anything, Steven Dorff? Blah, blah, blah. My name's John Campia. I did a movie about movie trailers. Blah, 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 blah. Campia. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but he blocked you for that little thing. I'm like,
dude, I got blocked by Rob Liefeld for saying that The Last Jedi was bunk. And he responded back with, no, you're bunk, and then blocked me. I'm like, that's not even, dude, like, do you know what bunk even means? It's just like, it's lame. That's all I was saying, like, but like, I've never seen someone get so, I didn't say he couldn't
Rob
draw
Liefeld
feet.
likes the fucking...
I guess so. It's like, you know what? I mean, I don't know. Maybe he was envisioning like drawing feet.
I didn't know he's so sensitive, right? You would think after decades of being like a fan throwing shit at him, he'd have some thick skin by now, right?
I think, yeah, it might. You know what? It might have just had one of them days, right? one of them days where it wasn't on that. But I mean, that's fine. I'm blocked by I'm blocked by Grace Randolph. I'm blocked by Christian Harloff. I'm blocked by John Campia.
Showing off your medals, I see.
I'm blocked by Andy Signor.
Oh, that's a good thing. Yeah.
I'm blocked by like Scott Weinberg of all people. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm blocked by like a lot of people and whatnot. And it's like, I think a few of them are like block lists. I don't know what I did to piss off Grace, You know, I mean, I probably said something, or she went surfing for something that came across a video where I criticized her. I guess maybe I don't know. I don't know. I have nothing against Grace, really. It's like I like her breakdowns of stuff. So it's I like to just kind of point and laugh at some of her very, very, very terrible takes.
Yeah, for the longest time, I thought she was an ordinary YouTuber. I guess became hugely successful. Just came out of nowhere. I had no idea her show's owned by the company that owns Rolling Stone. It owns Deadline. So.
Oh really? Like wait, they own her YouTube channel?
They own it. Yeah, the owners of Deadline own her show.
I've heard about that, but like I know she did another show for a while, and I'm wondering if that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean they beyond the trailer, right? So she gets corporate backing from the owners of Deadline and Rolling Stone.
Which is really funny because Deadline would never ever link back to her.
Yeah, I know, it's hilarious, right?
Deadline never links off of their own website, like ever. Like there was someone I saw today that was like talking. Oh no, what was it? Deadline posted a story about Britney Spears's attorney, her court-appointed attorney, resigning, and like there's another Free Britney Twitter account that was like we posted this 7 hours before you guys broke the story, and you're not going to give us any credit for it. And I was like, and they're all bitching about it. I'm like, you clearly don't know who you're talking to. Like they don't care. They don't care at all. They've been called out multiple times for that, and they just came back with "That's our policy. Eat a dick." Like that's all they did. It was so funny. I'm all like, you have to kind of
policy.
You kind of have to like give them a little bit of credit on that one. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. It's like a super dick move, but it's also like they're like, yeah, and like, what are you gonna do? Not read us? Don't you know who we are? We're Deadline. So
Dead on arrival.
Let's see here. Hold on. All right. Benson here says, Campia. Oh, I've got more followers than you, Duff. Did he actually make that claim? Did he actually make that? Jesus, what a bitch. I hate that argument so much. John, I've got more followers than you. It's the same thing those fandom menace dickless cuckwads like to do. I get more views than you. I get more views than you. I get more people. And I'm like, yeah, but you know what? I'm still living rent free in your head. Right? I don't go to bed thinking about you. You go to bed and you probably whine to your wife, Matt said mean things about me again. And she'll be like, it's okay, honey. Just go make your 800th Brie Larson video so you can finally come. And that's it. But like,
I feel like whenever someone brings up their follower count being superior to somebody else's, it's almost always a cope because you don't have like a better argument to bring up at that point in time. You know what I mean?
It's like I criticized Superman the other day on discussing film, and I said Superman is kind of a boring character when he's in the wrong hand, in most hands, because I think most people don't know how to write him properly.
That's true.
And then people like their response, the number one response was like, "Go read a comic." And like I have. Like I don't understand this argument. I'm like, that's not an argument. Like, no, you don't get it, man. I'm like, no. Like that's literally not an argument. That's you deflecting. That you know, like I'm saying he's in most hands. That's like, all right, that's sure. Don't get me wrong. Like, was it a weaker argument on my end, or like, yeah, sure, I could have put examples, but I was being a shit poster, so it's different.
I tell you, I didn't
really mad.
I didn't like. I mean, I grew up as a comic book reader, and back in the '70s. I didn't like Superman until I saw Donner's movie. I thought he was a boring character.
I did a video on my old channel on Monday Matt in like I want to say early June 2013. Okay, before Man of Steel came out, and I was like, Superman is boring. I've always thought that.
Yeah.
I've always thought that. And then and I'm like, he's just a boring character. And then I see Man of Steel, and there's like a moral conflict, and I'm like, that gets it. There we go. This person understands that Superman is meant to be a bit more complex than like, hi, I'm a Boy Scout. It's like, that's not interesting. Where's the conflict? You know what I mean? If it's all about brute strength of what he can do, because I mean, never mind the retconning of his abilities over the years, right? Originally, it was like he can leap tall buildings in a single bound because he jumps really high, like a fucking frog. and then it's like, now we can fly and shit. And like, all right, that's cool. I can dig it. And then it's like, but he's impervious to everything except a little rock from his planet. And you're like, well, where's the you go to fucking Radio Shack and get a piece? Like, come on.
Yeah,
It's just, you know, like I like the character, but I just want there to be something that's more complex.
You know, I had much more appreciation for Man of Steel after I saw the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, it's very true.
Like, okay, I get what you're doing now, Snyder, and I think a lot of people from my generation. I'm older than you, man. I'm like in my 50s, but I know a lot of people who are also in their 50s didn't like Man of Steel. Like, that's not my Superman. I said that's the whole point. It's not your Superman. It's for a younger generation Superman that they can relate to. In these you know times and these days, you know, it's different than how we grew up. You know, I think the Superman really reflects a lot of the anxiety that kids have growing up in today's society, and the inability to express those emotions. And what if those kids had powers? What would they do with them? I think it's totally different.
Yeah, that's kind of why I like to see what happens with that. But there is a super chat that came in for you, but I need to address this one real quick.
Sure.
Oh my God, Duck Dodgers, come on, dude. John Campea doesn't have a mail order wife.
Why not?
All right.
She works at Amazon.
Well, yeah, like they were supposed to move to Seattle, and then that didn't happen.
Yeah.
You know, and then she does cosplay with her sister, and like, you know, like, I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, it's not a mail order wife. It's a wife that orders mail.
Or a wife that delivers mail. We don't know.
Yes.
I don't know what she does at Amazon. I don't know what she does at Amazon. Yeah.
Apparently, she makes more money than he does, so it's probably something pretty big.
That is crazy because like that dude just like fires up a live stream and like it's all like cha-ching, 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 cha-ching.
That's all I see. I know.
You know, it's like I'll tell you this. The best pieces of content that John Campea has made in the last like 6 months. He did a couple videos where he broke down a movie, right? Like he talked about Mystery Men and he talked about The Last Starfighter, and he mostly did like just kind of like a story and ending explained video. But like I watched both of those, and I've seen both of those movies multiple times, but I very much enjoyed watching that. I very much enjoyed listening to him tell me about these movies, and like it's something I still want to do because those are fun videos to make. Yeah, and I'm like, and that's I appreciated that because there's a love of movies. It's not like, oh, let me flex my sub count. Like, okay, you know, Geeks and Campea. Geez, anyway, real quick here. Rational Skeptic has a question for you, Mikey. It says, what scoops do you have for the Flash film?
Well, Ben Affleck's not going to die. That was actually one of the things that they were planning on having happen in the movie, but he is not going to be killed off in the film. And it's really interesting how much that film has changed. The script's been changed so many times, dude. Like,
I wonder how many variations on scenes have been shot. Like,
oh yeah, I gotta wonder too, dude. Because like, I've heard so much about that movie the past couple of months. My faith in the film is not very strong because, you know, Christina Hodgson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm no.
Do we know if she's on set? Because I think that would change a lot of things. If she's on set, then she's going to be working on the script, and you know, while they're there. If she's not on set, and it's Andy Muschietti and Barbara Muschietti, and maybe Ezra Miller and maybe Affleck or Keaton or whomever are going to be kind of reworking dialogue, then
I heard Affleck rewrote his scenes.
That wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me.
Might explain why he lives.
You know, I want to live, damn it. Don't you know, like, I met Superman and he changed my life. I want to live. Like, besides, I'm going to plow Wonder Woman. It's going to be so good. Here's a question, and maybe someone in the chat can answer this. I mean, look, Amazonians, all women on the island. Obviously, we know there's probably going to be some relations, and that's great. Okay,
yeah,
right, perfectly fine with all that. Want to see it, love it.
Yeah.
But can they get pregnant? That's my question. Like, because wasn't she made from clay and then brought to life by Zeus?
Yeah.
So like, does?
Well, she's got a vagina.
Well, we assume she has a vagina. We assume.
I'm pretty sure she's had. I'm pretty sure
she could be. She could be like a Ken doll down there. We don't know.
for like 50 years or so, they made her a virgin. I don't think she's ever. I think in the 2000s, I can't remember correctly if they actually had her have sex for the first time. I remember there was a lot of scandal about no, she can't have sex,
No, Wonder Woman can't get down. But there's a clip from one of the DC animated projects where like Wonder Woman's asking Batman about like why he isn't like in married or whatever, and he's like, oh, my enemies will like use that against me, and Wonder Woman's right there like, yeah, but like she goes, but I'm invincible or something. And like, oh, I'm like, oh, she totally wants to like smash. That's great. You should do it, Bruce. Like, fuck Vicky Vale. Get him with some Amazonian shit. She can take it.
Yeah, but
you know
Batman's too busy being hunched over and brooding. He's like, no.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it's like he's like, oh, I get out my sexual frustration by beating up on thugs. Like, dude, just get a hooker. All right. Like, take a night off.
Yeah, thinking of super sex, there was a short story, I think like an essay back in the 70s, I think it was. You have to read it. It's hilarious. It's called Man of Steel, Woman of Kleenex.
Oh no, that was actually LinkedIn last night or the other night when we were
it?
talking about it. Yeah.
Oh
One of the
God.
I forget who mentioned it in the chat, but somebody mentioned it to me, and I brought it up. I was reading it for a minute, and then I got distracted, and I got to go back and read it again.
Yeah, Superboy was like jerking off, and the sperm was like hitting the walls, like bullets. It's fucking hilarious.
I just think it's like I know like I went on Enosh's stream last night and like totally derailed it by making jokes about like Superman masturbating, and then I'm like, all right guys, I'm gonna go to my stream. I'll see y'all later. Bye. Yeah, like I just dipped. And hold on here. Benson with $2. Thank you very much. Says Campia's ice cream argument video says everything. I don't know what that is.
I've never seen it.
I don't know what his ice cream video is. Is that the like? I mean, I've seen the one where he's like, he's like, I drink N-words, whatever, because someone trolled him. Oh, okay, hold on.
Oh my God, you can't just say that and not give any fucking context.
All right, hold on. John Campia, smelly. All right, let me find it here.
John Campia, smelly?
No. There's a specific clip. There's a very specific clip
in which he is smelly, in which he fucking
no. He what he does is I don't want to say it. Because
something not safe for advertisers.
Yeah, but then again, you know what I mean? It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Oh my God. I just want to find the clip.
Yeah, you know what? No, you're right. It is what it
does
is.
Does anyone just have the clip? I might. I'll Google search for it.
Clip.
Oh, here we go. Is this it? Yeah, it is.
Oh yeah.
And then after this, we are going to. I got to wrap this up because Loki. So we'll laugh at this last thing here. Laugh at John Campia. And this is something. This is what happens when a person is utterly oblivious to and just reading off of a teleprompter. So this is his Anchorman moment, by the way. And it is perfect John Campia as it could possibly be.
All right, Smelly Negro. I love that name. Which hockey movie chant "I swallow knickers come"? No idea.
Oh, it's classic. Okay.
You know what the most telling part is he was like, "Oh, I love that name."
I know. How do you not hear the? How do you Smelly Negroes and go like, "I love that name"? No, man. Like no. Like he did not.
Jeez.
So
anyway, go check out Loki on Disney Plus.
Yeah, Loki's going to be on Disney Plus. Also check out geekosity.com. It's a
geekositymag.com. Thanks, man.
Yeah. It's, by the way, it's SITY, not CITY. I made that mistake tonight. So Geekosity with an S, not a C. And thank you very much, Mikey, for being here. This has definitely been a lot of fun. And We got to catch up more often. Everyone else,
Yeah.
thank you all so much for cruising on by. And remember, if you want to be a channel member, this is how you do it. Get your name on the list because it's amazing. And then you can brag to your friends, like H-Bart's apparently wanted me to call his buddy weird tonight. So that was a new one. And anyway, yeah, I'm going to go watch Loki and enjoy the hell out of my night. All right, everyone. Well, have a
good
great
night,
night.
guys. Thank you.
See you later.